Okay. Oh, Ross Jeffries, I've not missed you. Again, should men be shamed for being single? No, that's toxic. That's toxic femininity, my friend. You have to be so charitable to read what he just said and not think he's a total psycho. Who's the man who says he's a feminist but he's kind of a sexual creep? We found him. We found him. Ladies, I don't read Playboy. Throw flowers at me. Ah, the adulation. Let's take a small look at a very, very vintage piece of, well, it was kind of the proto-manosphere. Like, yeah, the pickup artists, the men rights activists, before the internet, before this whole mess. Back then, still, we had an appetite for blood sports. We wanted to see these opposing views fight each other. That's human nature. Who we have here? The pickup artist is Ross Jeffries. I've already talked about Ross Jeffries. Ross Jeffries is a complete psycho. He believes that you can hypnotize women by speaking in a certain way that will make you completely irresistible by hypnotizing them. The good news, this does not work. Because if it did work, that would make Ross Jeffries a monster, right? You know what's important? Consent. Consent is really, really important when you're talking about sex and relationship. And he thinks that, yeah, if you can force someone to be sexually aroused against their will, that's good. So that's pretty bad. The second person is a men's rights activist. Now, men's rights is an interesting field. They try and fight for equality, in theory, by pointing out ways in which men are disadvantaged socially, which I've talked before in other videos about, for instance, the way that the expectations on women are very different now because of feminists, right? Feminists have really pushed the idea that you're, as a woman, you can be a mom, you can work on your career, you can be healthy at every weight. You can be into sports, you can be into nerdy stuff, you can be into girly stuff, and it's fine. Yeah, be yourself, girl. Go ahead, be a boss girl. Not bad things, but for men, we haven't had much. And the idea of what a man is supposed to be, what is a modern man? What are you supposed to do as a man? You're supposed to make money. Well, that's kind of old-fashioned, obviously. A man is supposed to be tough. Man's supposed to be... We've stagnated. Because we, as men, haven't really had that movement to redefine who we are and to position ourselves in the modern world. That would be good. In my opinion, the whole, like, let's reconsider what men are expected to do and what we should be doing to help each other, to help ourselves, to help our partners, to help our families. Like, it used to be that men weren't expected to take care of the kids. And now, obviously, yeah, they're supposed to, which is good. It's a good skill to have. With that point of view, oh yeah, it's kind of unfair that men haven't had that. And if that was what the men rights activists were talking about, or if we go legally, like, oh yeah, here are ways that men actually are discriminated in the workplace, and maybe we should change these. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's not what that tends to be. Unfortunately, men's rights activists tend to, well, they're kind of like the men going their own way. They're supposed to promote things that are good for men, but mostly it's women bashing. I'm not saying you can't be someone that's a men's rights activist and not be misogynistic. It's overwhelmingly that, which is unfortunate. A few years ago, there was a pretty explosive news about a man who went up on the bridge to Montreal and hung a banner saying "Daddy loves you," because he lost his kids in a divorce proceeding, which he believed, he was a good dad. He was entitled to be with his son, which he might have been. However, he was completely laughed out of the room. Out of the bridge, I would say. Did he have a point? Well, maybe he did. The court is in the US, not disadvantageous for men. In Quebec, maybe I haven't looked. It's fine to point out ways that things are unequal and try to fix them. We want equality, right? And generally, you're gonna find equality with feminists. Well, aren't feminists supposed to help women and advantage women? Well, it's kind of what it ends up being, because societally, through history, men have had all the powers, both politically, legally. Men have been in power for a ton of times. We've had more freedoms, we had more autonomy. It's been a good time to be a man through human history compared to women. Being a woman in the year 200 sucked. It's so much better now. And we have to thank feminists for that. So they've helped women make progress. So feminism is there to help women and fuck men, right? No. You will find feminists online who will say, yeah, fuck men are dumb, yeah, women power. They're by definition not feminists. They probably call themselves as such, but by definition, that's not what a feminist is. A feminist strives for gender equality. Something that's often brought up to counter the feminist narrative is, oh, but it's okay for men to be perceived more positively because there's a draft. Men are expected to go to war in the event of a war, and we need more soldiers. Well, we don't need more men. Technology has progressed so that war isn't decided by how many feet are on the ground, mostly, especially in the US. It's about technology. But more importantly, feminists want to abolish the draft because it's unequal. Feminists, that's the official feminists movement. The draft is wrong because it hurts men. A draft, if it was fair, should include members of both genders. They're very on the left, so they tend to be completely anti-draft. There shouldn't be a military draft. There shouldn't be this practice in society that disadvantage one gender over the other. You don't hear him talk much about other ways that men are hurt because there aren't that many. There are some. They tend to be more cultural rather than legal. The draft is pretty much the only one. And it's hard to change culture as a united front. These are the positions we have. Complete psychopath who think you can manipulate women into having sex with you. Member of a group who is supposed to try to advantage men. I don't know this guy. Maybe he'll be cool. And a feminist. A male feminist, of course. Can have women talk about women's issues, am I right? As a feminist and as a generally progressive person, one of the worst things you can look at is someone who holds the same positions and the same values as you and be unable to argue favorably for their points. Which, again, haven't watched it. I'm not holding my breath that this feminist will be able to make his case strongly.
A man says women say one thing but mean another. Another man teaches other men how to get women into bed. And finally,
when they say women say one thing mean one other, the same holds true for men. Humans are bad at communicating. Ironically, women are better, but yeah, everybody does that.
One man says men need to learn to listen to what women want, what men really think of women today.
Oh, this is so early 90s. Oh man, I'm almost nostalgic. Look at that jacket. Oh, that low budget intro. Oh man.
Hello everyone. I don't know if you noticed by the shots that we're taking, but this is an audience of all women today.
Oh, are they gonna take questions from the audience? These are always bad.
Because we have three men
with
different points of view. These three men think
obviously this is old. Okay, some women will ask questions, and if this was made today, you'd have YouTube videos that are like, yeah, red pill, alpha male destroys dumb feminists, because they're not very articulated. They're my member of the audiences.
This is Mel Fight. Mel says women say they want a sensitive guy, but the minute men get sensitive, women run the other way. And
there is some truth to that. Women will explicitly say that they want a boyfriend, a partner who is able to show his vulnerable side. And then when that happens, partly because men aren't great at expressing themselves emotionally, so it comes out a bit awkward, which in my opinion we should be tolerant of. But it comes out as not the best. Then some women will recoil after men show their vulnerable side. That's not great, right? I'm putting this on the shoulders of women out there. If your man is really showing his more sensitive side, be respectful and be, welcoming to his feelings. For a lot of men out there, it's hard to express how we feel. And when we're emotional and we allow ourselves to show our sadness and our anxiety, we're not very good at it yet. It's true. Men don't get as much training expressing their emotions as women. We don't know if it's biological or environmental, but yeah, we're not as good. There's no reason not to get better at it though. And we're not going to get better at it if, when we do it, women recoil. There's a portion of truth in there.
Finally, Bruce Weinstein. Bruce says he is pro-feminist and pro-woman. He thinks men would be a lot
At least this guy looks good. Like, who's the men right activist? Not you.
Is Mel Fight. Mel says women's...
If you had to guess, who's the misogynistic just from their looks? We found him. We found him. Who's the man who says he's a feminist but he's kind of a sexual creep? We found him. We found him. Maybe he'll be chill. I don't know.
He thinks men would be a lot better off if they only learned to listen to what women have to say.
And I'm gonna have some pushback on the feminists too. Again, nobody's really good at saying what they actually want. It's hard to be vulnerable for both men and women. Again, women are better at it. If you say, oh, women, what do you want out of men? You're not gonna necessarily hear the truth. Doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to them, though. You should have deeper discussion and be more comfortable getting into a deeper conversation. Which is very easy to do when you're in a relationship with someone you know and you trust.
Well, Ross and Mel, I guess you already realize that your positions are in the minority here.
No surprise.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stay out of this for a minute or two, and I want everybody. I'm just gonna fire off some questions, okay? Just so we get some answers, all right? And I may leave some of those balls hanging up there for you ladies to slam dunk later on, but that's your prerogative.
Ladies
right?
can dunk.
Ross, what do women really want?
I don't care what they want. I only care.
That, Ross Jeffries, he's full of shit. He's not lying. He doesn't care what women want. Yes, that is Ross Jeffries.
What they respond to. See, my focus.
Yeah, this is a guy who's like, I'm gonna study psychology. I'm gonna look at behavioral psychology and nothing else. Everything else is not real to me because I just want to get benefits from it.
This is a little bit different from your other guests. There's what women say they want, there's what women think they want, and then there's what they actually respond to. I'm not an academic.
Yeah, you're not an academic. Yeah, no. He's completely ignoring the whole cognitive aspect of human beings, which is like the most fundamental and important and complex aspect. Again, his whole shtick is, I'm going to talk a certain way and say certain things, and then women will want to fuck me. It doesn't work. We've seen videos of him failing horribly. His techniques fail constantly. He's not going to... My general impression of him is he does not consider women to be people. He does not consider other people to be people. He comes across as a big narcissist. And in the worst cases, people with narcissistic personality disorders, they don't think of other people as having an internal world. Like, they don't have an internal thought process. They don't have... ways they can understand the world that's different from them. Ross Jeffries speaks in a way to elicitate sexual excitation. That's not a word in English. Sexual arousal, better. Because that's what he thinks would be sexually arousing. Not because that's what women find sexually arousing. He can only see things from his point of view. Is the feeling I'm getting from him. I've only seen online videos of him. Give me a break.
I'm not a theoretician. I'm interested in what works on the street when it's time to date and mate. And what women actually respond to is not what they say they want.
And again, if his shtick worked, he could get a Nobel Prize. Big surprise, he doesn't have one. Publish your research. What research? You haven't done any? You don't know if that works? Yeah, of course you haven't. If you were an academic, you would immediately reject what you're saying. Respond to a guy who's.
A challenge, a guy who's a question mark, a guy who keeps them guessing. You see, in the beginning, the less attractive you are physically, the more you have to rely on your attitude. And that's what I wrote my book for.
I mean, if you're butt ugly, yeah, you're gonna have to rely on something else. Duh. That's not saying much.
My book for the average looking, even ugly
Yeah,
guy
sell your book, sell your
goes
book.
out there in the real world and tries to be a nice guy, gets his head kicked in.
So no more Mr. Nice Guy.
This is an old talking point, isn't it? Yes, yes. It's been going on for 30 years. Oh, nice, don't be a nice guy. It's kind of funny because there's a whole belief that, oh yeah, the asshole gets the women, right? You gotta be a dick to women. Why? Because I'm a nice guy, but this guy over there, he's got a woman, but he must be an asshole. Not like me. I'm a nice guy. See? One of the fundamental aspects of human psychology is that we try to protect our ego. We don't like to think of our failures as being because of who we are. If I go to a job interview and I don't get the job, we'll generally tend to say, oh, I didn't get the job because they didn't like me. It wasn't the right fit. Maybe someone else was really good. Maybe they already had someone in mind for the job. We tend not to go, I don't think I got the job. Why? I don't think I was that good. I don't think I'm that competent at that job. Sometimes we will because our failures are very explicit. However, we overwhelmingly try to deflect. It's not me because me good. Why me good? Because I want to feel good about myself. I'm protecting my ego. Like when you fail, it's not because of me. It's not because of who I am. You could say, oh, it's because I was tired. Something that you can change easily. Something that is circumstantial. That we'll say. But not because of something fundamental about myself. So that's why you get all these nice guys don't get girls. When? Yes, they do. Yes. I'm not kidding. The number one trait you can exhibit in a person that will make that person attractive for both men and women are looking nice. Like looking like a nice person, being a warm person. It's the concept of a central trait. Personality traits who we attribute way more value to. And when it comes to attractiveness, looking nice, seeming like a nice person is the number one most important thing. A Word document. Okay, really simple, not gonna take long. I'm going to describe two people. Person A is an intelligent, ambitious. He is warm. And he is also, let's go with well-mannered. Okay. And we have a person B. Is matter 2R? Yes, 2N. But person B is cold. Okay? People will rate person A something like +8, and will rate person B something like +3. Okay, so there's a swing of 5 points if we change warm and cold. If we change any other trait, like well-mannered, he's boorish, not very well-mannered, then we get something like, oh, a 2-point swing. It's not that important. Because the central trait, warmness, is more encompassing of other traits. If someone is nice, it has more implication of what that person is in a positive light. And if it's cold, it's the opposite. That's a central trait. Traits that affect more aspect of a person, we value more highly. Being nice, yeah, it has an impact. Warmness is the central trait. It's the most important thing.
You can be pleasant. You see, we've got to define our terms. By nice, I mean accommodating. When you accommodate, you get what the commode gets. You get the crapola.
You can see he's a hack. Like, you don't want to be accommodating. Why? Because you get what the commode gets. You've got your lines. that you're rehearsing.
Mind. I don't verbalize it. Exactly. Now you see this response here. You should never verbalize the attitude. You show it in your behavior.
You're sitting here pointing your finger at him. Stand up and tell us why you're pointing at him.
No, I was just saying that
Oh, God.
he's just got
Audience
this
question.
judgment of what women are like, and I think
Yes,
what he
that's
should
true.
do is just develop his own self, and then he's going to find these
The
relationships work better.
sleazebag you see is the real me. I found the real me. I think
It's true. Yeah, I really dislike that commentary of you need
He's
to
just
work
got
on
this
yourself.
prejudgment of what women
Like,
are like, and
that's
I think
completely
what he
irrelevant
should
to
do is just
discussion.
develop his own self, and then he's going to find these
the
relationships work better.
sleazebag you see is the real me. I found the real me.
I think
Yeah, that is the real him. That Ross Jeffries is not great.
you prejudged us. I mean, the audience reaction at the top of the show showed that the women here have prejudged us. I think it's a
They judge Ross accurately. Mel?
comment on women that they respond to the kind of manipulative behavior that Ross is encouraging that men do. That's a sad comment on you. Listen,
It's the real me. I found the real me.
I think you prejudged us. I mean, the audience reaction at the top of the show showed that the women here have prejudged us. I think it's a sad comment on women that they respond to the kind of manipulative behavior that Ross is encouraging that men do.
What? Oh, no. He's blaming women for being easily manipulated. He's blaming the victims. No.
Prejudged us. I think it's a sad comment on women that they respond to the kind of manipulative behavior that Ross is encouraging that men do. That's a sad comment on you. Listen,
I mean, it doesn't work. We've seen it doesn't work.
You know what I found? I found
Whatever.
the nice guys who, when I'm on the radio or TV, nice guys call up and go, well, it wouldn't be myself. It's the nice guy who's the phony, who's not being his real self, because he's afraid he can't do any better.
So you're going back to my point.
Jesus Christ. Doesn't believe that niceness exists. Okay, that's great. That's great. People who are nice are pretending to be nice. That's Ross Jeffries right there.
Men are jerks,
No,
and some
no, no.
hide it.
Wait, never mind. She nailed that. Wait, that woman's killing it. He's saying that men who are nice are faking it.
He's afraid he can't do any
So
better.
you're going back to my point. All men are jerks,
No,
and some
no, no.
hide it.
Oh no, it's the host. Yeah. I would have been surprised if it was the audience member.
But isn't that what you just said? Is all men are sort of
no.
jerks, and some of them try to
No,
sugarcoat
what
it?
I'm
Is that
saying
what you
is,
just said?
no, what I'm saying is,
I said I was
thank
going to
you.
stay out of it, and I can't.
What I'm saying is that there's
I feel you, girl.
power imbalance in favor of women when it comes to dating and sex. And women through their
In 1992. Yeah, so according to CDC, men have more sexual partners than women. Like, what do you want me to say? You just I know it's a commonly held belief that women, you know, their vaginas they're the gatekeeper of sexuality, right? Oh, men will have sex with anything, but it's the women. And so because they have all the power, they can choose to have sex with who they want. And that makes them more promiscuous. But what we're saying is no, men have more sexual partners. Men are more promiscuous. The whole idea that there's this power dynamics between women and men, it doesn't hold true to stats. It feels like it's an old Puritan idea that women don't want to have sex, right? Which is why they're holding back from having it. When sex is really good for women. And I mean, there is one good reason women don't want to have sex as much, is because there's a bigger risk for them, especially if their legal landscape prevents them from applying birth control as they wish. And also, even if that was true, what a terrible mindset to have. Again, don't you want to have relationships based on equalities and respect and not this person has more power than this person? It's insane.
behavior through showing men what they actually respond to, force men to act in a certain way. That's
Oh, come on. The persecution complex. Oh, we're forced to act like bad boys.
And I'm here to say,
In the boardroom, not the
Go, feminist dude.
it is time for men to give up our power and authority and our privilege because we have dominated women.
That's
we've
very bad
dominated other
language.
Men, we've dominated the planet for too long, and it has got to stop.
Oh god, this guy's shit. Oh no. He PhD! No! Oh, listen, man, if you're a feminist and you want equal rights and you want people to listen, don't talk that way. My god. Like, the point of feminism is to bring everyone to be equals, not for men to give up powers and to shut up. That's... God damn it. That guy's bad. You have to be so charitable to read what he just said and not think he's a total psycho.
To say that it is time for men to give up our power and authority and our privilege because we have dominated women, we have dominated other men, we have dominated the planet for too long, and it has got to stop.
Jesus! This guy sucks! it's fine to understand that men have had privileges built into society and to want to make society more equal. Don't put it like, oh, men have it easy, they need to suffer. Like, gee, no. Every man who listens to this would be like, yeah, no, fuck that guy. Like, no wonder feminism gets a bad rep. The point of feminism is not to push down on men. It's to help women rise. And these small ways that men are disadvantaged, we eliminate those too. Like, God! Nothing worse than seeing someone who you should agree with be so fucking bad at expressing himself. God. No, don't applaud. Don't.
They want to hear this. Women want, what you want is you want to hear that we're jerks. You want to hear that we have all the power. You know, the most important unspoken truth about men is that we are very angry. A lot of us are very angry at women. And this is a good example. You're showing why we're angry. You're not even listening. You don't want to listen to what we have to say. And
I'm afraid that they heard it.
I don't think
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of anger, but it tends to be a misconstruction of what women want and how society actually is. He hasn't said much yet, Amy MRA,
the
but...
reason that men don't communicate about their anger, we keep it secret, is because when we try to tell you why we're angry, you respond with ridicule, with
Okay, why are you
disbelief,
angry?
or your own anger.
I'm not angry. I'm satisfied because I know how to manipulate women and get what I want. But let me say, his point is so preposterous. Get a shot of this audience. Every woman sitting here is sitting on more power
I can't blame
than
them for
Congress
taking a shot on him.
You control the action
Like this,
of sex, and that is an incredible...
everybody on this panel is
A
trash.
woman says yes or no. She has the power, and that makes... Wait a second, let me make... A lot of men feel... You don't know this, but it's the truth. A lot of men feel powerless and degraded and dehumanized by the sexual system whereby the man asks and the woman decides. We feel harassed every minute of every day of our lives, and it's about time that you understand that. When we look at...
I agree. Some men do feel angry, well, when they look at the sexual marketplace or whatever. It's because these ideas that this whole system is unfair towards men and that women are, trying to destroy them and are very superficial. Like, it's made up. You're pushing that idea, and there's often a grain of truth, but here, like, your entire brand is to push the idea that women are bad and that they're trying to destroy men. And, again, can't blame you with this guy on the right, but you're making the men angry.
Wait, I'm sorry, 1 second. Bruce, Mel, stand up.
Yeah, he's got a skirt.
Doesn't that invite
He's
harassment?
nailing it.
No, what it invites is hypocrisy. What it invites...
Oh. What? Doesn't that invite harassment? Oh, it was 1992. Trans people were shit on a lot back then.
Now, doesn't that invite harassment?
Still now.
No, what it invites is hypocrisy. What it invites is, the fashion rage for women this year is
Yes.
a man's suit and tie.
Sure.
When you decide to ridicule me and my skirt, you gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding, Faye.
I don't like the length, and I don't...
Actually, yeah, I agree. I mean, again, 1992, completely different ideas of gender expectations. Yeah, why make fun for a man for wearing a skirt if he wants to? Same things for... I'd say making fun of women for wearing suit is weirder, but whatever, they're both bad.
I think it matches the sweater is my problem with it.
Yeah, nice recovery, girl, but still.
When men stand up for themselves, what do they expect from women? Ridicule. You proved it.
I mean, obviously, he wore that to bait them, but then again, it did work. You have no one to blame but yourself, 1992 host.
I'm guilty right here. I admit it. I admit it. You have a question.
Yes, my question is directed to him. What's your name again? Ross. I think
Ross.
Ross. She said Ross. Ross, I think you're gonna end
You
up.
say it right.
Ross.
Ooh, we know where it ends up, because now it's 30 years
I
later.
think you're gonna end up a very lonely man.
Is he married? No, damn it. Well, then again, it's prying into his personal life.
But you got to understand, he says quite the contrary. He says he has a much better dating life, romance life, sex life now.
Incomparably better. I mean, let's look at reality. The reality is that nice guys not only do nice guys finish last, they often don't even get into the race. And you want to talk about fashion? If a woman does like a nice guy, it's her way of making a fashion statement. It's fashionable for her to like that.
And Ross is absolutely right. Women have a lot of sexual power, and he has the courage to say that. He's making a mistake, though. He's encouraging men to simply surrender to that power. And I think, if you're a man and you follow Ross's advice, you're going to get more sex, but you're going to have less self-respect. There are more important things in life than getting
We
laid.
all disagree on that point, but
Oh, I don't hate that. Like, yeah, he's saying, assuming that Ross Jeffries' ideas work,
And he has the courage to say that.
why do you define yourself with the amount of sex you're having? If you have sex with a lot of people, like that doesn't make you a good or a bad person. Same if you don't have sex, that doesn't make you a bad person.
Mistake, though. He's encouraging men to simply surrender to that power. And I think,
That's not bad.
if you're a man
He's
and
better
you
than
have
Ross.
advice, you're going to get more sex, but you're going to have less self-respect. There are more important things in life than getting
Well,
life.
I'll disagree on that point, but let me get to the commercial break, and we'll come back and find out why in a moment.
Commercial. Oh no. How to get the woman you desire into bed. Not available in bookstores. It's the same now. Go to my website and buy my DVD set. Oh, man. The more things changes, the more they stay the same.
Yeah, I think that they just have had bad experiences with women, so they're just somewhat poisoned against women in general.
True?
Never fails. Every show we do, we talk about our feelings. Someone stands up and said, we've had bad experiences.
I believe he had bad experiences with women. Ross, he thinks he's the shit.
You're trying to trivialize what we're saying, and I resent it. It's the hostility that men and women have for each other that's poisoning our relationships. We've got to be able to talk about it and listen to one another non-judgmentally.
I don't think I've been poisoned. I think I'm just doing what works.
Faith,
It's a
Yeah,
matter of doing
well,
what
I
works.
said.
One thing the women's movement has taught me is to avoid speaking for other people. So I would like to ask you, if you think that men need to change in some fundamental ways and do a better job at listening to you, please clap your hands.
What's smarmy?
What? What are you? Why are you here?
This guy's like he's running. This guy's like he's running for office here. He knows how to work the crowd.
No, Ross, I agree. He's just trying to get the audience on his side. You're supposed to be the feminist. Your position should intrinsically allow you to be on the audience's side. What is this?
But you know what? It's not a stretch
I'm
for
not
him to get
interested.
this audience to agree with
I,
his point.
the person I like the least
It
is actually a
mummified in the
feminist.
mummified halls of academia. I
I'm not
understand
speaking as
he's
an
a
Fucking
PhD.
nuts.
I'm not
Speaking as an
higher and
academic.
deeper. I'm talking for the little guy out there who gets his head kicked in and always winds up being the buddy, the big brother, and here is, let's be friends. You want a friend, lady? Get a dog. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like a political debate. This is the vacuous, empty Democrat that says nothing but tries to get easy claps, and this is the guy spouting bullshit confidently. It's not a bad strategy if you want to look tough.
And here's the thing you have to know about Bruce, Faye. Here's the thing that's important for women. There's something important for women to know about Bruce.
We just met. How do you know about him?
But he's doing something that men
Oh,
have
please
done
shut on him.
to women.
Shut on him.
He's
Yes,
He's
yes.
putting you up on a pedestal.
no,
He's keeping you free from criticism. I respect you enough to, if I think you're full of it, I'm going to tell you. He won't.
You know what men need to do? What the point of the women...
No, he's not even, well, he's reverse wrong. He's not putting women on a pedestal. He's putting men in the dirt. Like, I can't even shit on the MRA guy. I mean, I feel like Ross and Mel, the MRA guy, just like, oh, they found an easy dunk on the feminist dude. Like, oh, we can just shit on him. And it's gonna be really easy to look good. 1992 sucked! Oh!
movement is not to make everyone feminine. The point, as I understand it, is to make everyone whole. So what men need to do is reclaim the femininity that we've lost.
I can't believe you. I'm the one who's sitting here in a skirt. You're the one who's dressed.
The femininity that we've lost. Okay, I don't think it's bad for men to embrace more feminine behavior, like talking about your emotions more openly or be caring towards others. That's very good. There's no femininity to reclaim. Like, it's not like, oh, in the wild, in the primal time, women were these feminine things. No, we're focusing on hunting and gathering. Like, we've had thousands of years of men being very embracing masculine social roles. And some of them are not positive for us or women. And it's okay to recognize that some of the things that are stereotypically men aren't necessarily good. And they can be done in other ways. But there's no femininity to reclaim. In 1992, right now, this is the most feminine men have ever been through human history. Except maybe during the disco time. What is there to reclaim? Redefine what a man is and ought to be, yes. Not reclaim some long-lost knowledge.
Very conservative male attire. You haven't begun to question anything about masculinity.
I want to put
I agree.
so I can look up your skirts. I mean, I don't have any problem with it.
There's an absolute...
I mean, Mel is poorly intentioned, but he's not wrong.
Ross, is there a woman in the audience that you'd like to ask out?
Pardon
Is there a
me?
woman in the audience you'd like to ask out?
I'm booked up.
Oh, yes.
1993. Sorry, ladies.
I should have done
Yeah,
it.
I'd like to know when is the
Would've
last time you
felt
had a
so
real
hard.
commitment with a lady, and did she respect how you treated her?
I cannot hear you. One more time.
When is the last time you had a real relationship with a lady?
What makes you think it's your business?
See,
My business? Well, you're sitting up there. You're sitting up there like you know everything about women.
And deal with the issues.
He just made a
No,
personal
hang
attack
on a
against
second,
me.
Ross.
and
I
he's
think it
asking
is
me
a fair question, and I will tell you why I think it is a fair question, because you wrote this book saying you got the answers.
You know what?
I mean, more importantly, what he's advocating for is very like for surface level. Right? You do these techniques and you'll get sex. You won't get a meaningful relationship from a casual sexual encounters. Well, I mean, specifically Ross Jeffries doesn't seem like a guy that's able to connect well to others. So I don't think it's inappropriate and, just dodging the question, but he's in a position of power. It's very easy for him to get a dunk on her. It's very much the business of the people. Like, if you're advocating for a way to act with women and you aren't able to sustain a healthy relationship, kind of showing that maybe your techniques aren't what men need. But it's kind of trying to show that he's an hypocrite. Like, oh, you're advocating for this, but you're not in a good relationship. But that's not a good argument because it might be personal to him. So that's, It's just, again, people you agree with aren't good at arguing their points. Story of my life.
At the moment, I'm having lots of fun. I don't have a personal commitment to one person. Although I have been with someone I've loved for a long time, me.
Let me ask you.
Ross is very honest. Ross is so honest. I will never call him full of shit. I mean, he is full of shit because his shit doesn't work, but he does not believe that he is lying. For sure. For sure.
Give it.
Look at his smug face. Look at that.
Personal commitment
He's a cartoon.
Although I have been with someone I've loved for
I
a long
love
time,
hating him.
me.
Let me ask you.
Look at him. Ah, come on. Yeah, this is a smag.
Given that, let me ask you this. Do
That
you think
shit-eating
the woman is
grin.
satisfied the one that you're with?
It goes without saying she's going to be satisfied if she's with me. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm serious about one thing.
But it's
I'm being a little obnoxious to get a response, but I'm serious about one thing.
Got it.
I honestly do believe that there's no better way a woman can win, spiritually, physically, emotionally, than being with me. I really believe that. I
You
really
didn't really
do.
answer the question. Does it matter to you if the woman is satisfied?
Yes.
It does matter.
Because she's
Please
gonna come
move on
back
from
for
your
more.
pre-canned
It's in
answers.
my own interest to see that she's satisfied. It's chapter 18 in my book.
And it's pathetic. Ross's arrogant attitude works with women. I think it's pathetic. I think it's pathetic.
But you seem to be putting the blame on women.
Well, he's been conditioned by women. This is the result. This is what you get. You get a fellow
All right.
like Ross.
John,
No. Ross Jeffries is just himself.
To the audience, please put your hands down for a second.
He's
What do I
responsible
look
for his own
like?
self.
Does anyone here find Ross's approach to women appealing?
Oh, they're
I mean,
gonna-
none of them. Of course.
Come on,
Of course.
Number one, what we have here.
What? I didn't hear that. What?
One of them? For real?
She said we don't even find Ross appealing.
What we have here.
Ah,
is
don't be
a phenomenon
rude.
called
Don't be
denial.
rude, lady.
That's what we have.
I think Ross is denying something very important here.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay.
Yes?
Call it to the audience. What are you screaming about? You just threatened me. Stand up here. Why did you threaten me to come over here with a microphone immediately? Stand up.
Okay, because first of all, I find this utterly preposterous. You're sitting there and you're putting us down to a certain extent, and what you fail to realize, both of you, okay, is that without your mothers, you wouldn't be here.
Oh, God. How can you say things that are bad against women when you have mothers? Oh, this one hurt. This one hurt. Moving on.
You have your turn. Hush. I'm not done. I am not done.
You've had your say for
I am
25
not done.
years, and I'm not going to let you shout me down.
No, moving right along.
Say something about fathers.
Moving right along.
Fling shit at the wall.
Fathers didn't have to carry you,
You
for
hate your
9
father?
months. That's
Oh
not
my
the
God.
question. Moving right
Say
along.
something nice about
I
your
think
father.
that you're very. Excuse me. Oh, I must have hit a nerve. Is your
You
skirt too
did. You
tight?
said something very
Moving right
anti-man.
along. As I was
She hasn't
saying
said
to you,
shit, but
all right? I
what she
think
said
that
was
you're a very bad
anti-humanity.
individual, let alone you're not even getting any people. Let's get real about it.
It's not hard to get pussy.
Let me tell you, just from listening to you, right? Wait a minute, hold up. Just from listening to you, baby sugar, I can tell that you are using the 5 fingers of death, okay? And you really need to get real with yourself and others.
Okay, let's take a bit. Let's pull back a bit. You're calling these men losers for being single and shaming them for masturbating. This is meant to be like, haha, I got you. Look how strong I am. I'm, pushing down on you. if you look at what you're actually saying, you're kind of proving them right. You know, you're shaming them for being single. You're shaming them for masturbating. When again, should men be shamed for being single? No, that's toxic. That's toxic femininity, my friend. I expected these two boys to be really bad, and they're bad. The audience is, and the feminists, they're way worse.
I'm very sorry. I have to get to a commercial.
What a garbage year, 1992.
I have to say that I'm not sure if spelling it will qualify with the censors. I'll be interested to find out if spelling it makes a difference with the censors. Well, we are back, and you had something you wanted to say.
I have a question for Ross. How do you define a relationship?
You're not
Because
gonna spell,
all
are you?
it sounds like is that you define it as sex. If that's all you're looking for, get a prostitute and leave the rest of us alone. We don't
I don't disagree with her. His entire thing is about convincing women to have sex with him, with whoever uses techniques. So, what about an actual relationship, Ross? The floor is yours.
Hey, thank you. That's an intelligent question. Let me answer it.
Hey, I agree with Ross.
Doesn't matter whether you're looking for one steady relationship or a lot of women. Whichever one you want, you still have to use the attitudes I outline in my book to get it. If you're weak, if you're a wimp, if you're too happy to be there, if you want to wash her car and be her wimp, you're not going to get a lot of women. You're not going to get one woman. You won't have a steady relationship. You won't have one-night stands. It applies no matter what you're looking for.
Yeah, do anybody agree with that?
Yeah, so he really didn't answer that question. Like, what should you be looking for in a relationship? Doesn't matter. Don't matter. You gotta use my techniques or else it doesn't work. Like, but no. What's your outlook on relationships? Nope. Not answering.
But the men watching this know I'm telling the truth. I don't care. I really don't care what they think.
The men do know
So
each
you know
other.
what my fear is that the men watching this might believe you.
Well, they do believe it. I have fans
Thankfully,
all over the
they
country.
really don't. He's not
For example,
popular.
Faith, Playboy magazine bills itself as entertainment for men, but I'm here to say that a lot of men do not
Wow. Oh, I can't. Why are you talking about Playboy now? You're trying to get a dunk on them by completely changing the subject. We can tell, you know. We can tell you prepared that. It's gonna fall flat. It can't not.
All over the country. They
Absolutely
write
not.
me in
For
my-
example, Faith, Playboy magazine bills itself as entertainment for men, but I'm here to say that a lot of men do not consider it entertaining. We don't think it's entertaining.
You actually led a boycott against
yes, I led a
Playboy on your
protest and a
campus.
Yes, ma'am.
Ladies, I don't read Playboy. Throw flowers at me. Ah, the adulation.
When they came to shoot the what college girls
The
in the East or
October
whatever
Women
that
of
is.
the Big East issue.
I
We wanted to send a message
legit
that
thought
a
this
lot of
video
men
was
don't
gonna be
consider this
all
as entertainment,
dunks
and that it's
on Ross
important for us to
Jeffries.
set a good example for people and simply not to buy pornography
Why
and let
do you
people
And
want
know
maybe
that
some on
it's
the MRA
unacceptable.
guy.
Why do you want to deny male biology? This is, see,
Oh,
part of the
there it is. There's the dumb shit. Humans are very complex. Our nervous system is very complex. Reducing humans to some kind of fundamental biology is borderline misanthropist. Like, it's hate against humanity. Our abilities to understand things, to interact, to create significant relationships is so mind-bogglingly advanced. It's just bad biology, though.
intellectual bankruptcy of feminism is they want to deny the reality of male human biology.
The point of feminism is to acknowledge the differences while reaching equality. At no point do feminists say that men aren't biologically different from women. No point.
The male human biology to become aroused looking at beautiful naked women.
wanna repeal the
That
First
is
Amendment?
biology.
The fact that something is natural does not mean it is good. The Hurricane Andrew was natural.
Yeah, he's right. Look, it's natural to be excited by a good-looking naked woman. It's also objectifying. And it can make you think of women more as sex object than as people. If it's done too often. So it's not about whether it's natural, it's whether it's harmful. And it's not that harmful. Looking at porn from time to time, it's totally fine.
But we don't want to say that it's good.
Male sexuality is good. This audience is having an orgy now. You're getting off on the man bashing. There's no hope. There's no hope.
Again, is men's sexuality good? Yes. Are you the worst person to send out that message?
On the man
Also,
bashing.
yes.
There's no hope. There's no hope. Can anybody say anything positive about men? Let's just one person say
All right, you
something
want to say,
positive.
wait a minute, no, I don't think, hang on one second. I don't think that these women are all bashing all men. I think that they disagree with your
I mean-
points of view. Don't confuse it.
Let them say
All right.
something positive about
Say
men.
something.
I would say
That's
shitting on
fine.
this
Say
panel of
something positive.
people.
Say something positive.
It's not positive.
Pick up their socks.
Good
Just say
choice.
Pick up their socks.
What? Pick up your socks, first of all. Second of all, the one in the middle who's in a dress. If you have such an attitude toward women and you feel how women are, why do you want so much to look like one?
Oh, this fucking audience.
Wait a second, Faith, hold it. No, I was attacked. No, I want this woman to stand up. I want people to see what she's wearing.
Well, at least he's as bad as she is.
Sport coat, and an oversized sport coat and a pair of pants. Why are you dressing like a man?
This is
Why
not
are
a
you
man's
dressing
jacket
like a
and
man?
pants.
Shame on
Are
you
you
for
shopping
attacking
in the
me.
women's
Shame
department?
on
Also, this is pretty neutral clothes. And yeah, like, how dare you judge me for what I'm wearing? How dare you judge me for what I'm wearing? How dare you judge me for what I'm wearing? Cool. More shit flinging.
you for attacking me.
All right, over here.
This is for Ross. You got a real nasty attitude towards women.
True.
And that's why you ain't got none.
let me
You
tell
don't
you
know what they want. You don't know nothing
Let me tell
about
you
women. You need to talk to one from the heart.
Right.
And talk to them.
You know, if you're going to sugarcoat it and beat around the...
I'm pretty confident Ross Jeffries has never talked to the heart to another human. I truly believe that this man only thinks of himself.
Bush, how can we have a
Stop trying
discussion?
to figure them out because you can't figure them out. And you with a dress, how you expect women to listen to you?
Let me respond to her.
And shame on you for wearing a dress. What are you doing? Ross, you are misogynistic, you are toxic, you are narcissistic. You cannot relate to other human beings and no one should listen to you. Mel, you're wearing a skirt, so you're also bad. What are you doing?
Look at you. Look at you. Look at you.
Let me
Oh.
Let me
They
respond.
not talk about playboy this and playboy that. All y'all want is some sex. Y'all don't want no women. Y'all want sex.
Let me respond.
Again, you're reducing men to just wanting sex. Now I get Ross and Mel, well, mostly Ross, also reduce men to just wanting sex. Can you believe that men also want other things? Shocking, I know. Do you know that men have emotional needs too? Well, of course they do. Don't speak like they don't.
I'm sorry. I'm getting a commercial cue. We have to take a break. We'll come back, and I will let you respond when we come back.
Oh, God.
Very little time left. Ross, you wanted to respond quickly?
Do not make the mistake of thinking that I enjoy having to behave this way. Simply, women have taught me that this is what they respond to.
Oh,
I used
what?
To be nice.
The
I used to be sweet.
victim.
I used to be sensitive. I used to listen. I dated my left hand when I did that.
I didn't ask to be a bad person. Women made me that way.
And now,
Mel,
you know,
quickly.
and I used to be more feminist than most feminists. I consider myself a recovering feminist now because now I see how women react.
If your version of feminism is the guy next to you, I understand why you're no longer feminist now.
This is what you do. It's disgusting.
Finally, men have oppressed women for too long, and it
Ross says, women made me that way. And I'll say, fuck you, you're a dick. Mel says, feminists made me that way. And I'm like, maybe he's got a point. Me? That's a feminist?
it has got to stop, and that's what I'm here to say.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Women run. Wait a minute.
I mean, I already hate Ross Jeffries, but this is a new kind of hate. Man.